All right, everybody. This will be a warning to all politicians. I'm running for president 148. Running for president 2024, part 148 E, I believe. Warning. So just to touch on a couple things there about the deal with the Capitol. You know, it's reported, there's all kinds of stuff being reported. It was reported that there was, guys there who had guns and Mazel Tov cocktails and mason jars and this and that. And I'd be like, sure it wasn't shine? Look here. If you're on the right, you're a Trump supporter, you're in the middle, whatever it is, you don't need no crap like that. People showing up with guns and Mazel Tov cocktails. And they're saying there's going to be all these demonstrations around the country on Inauguration Day. You don't need any of that kind of stuff out of the trailer park showing up. You're not like Antifa and BLM and stuff. You're not going to get into it with the cops and everything else. Like I said, you have to wonder the way things have been going. Are they pushing for some kind of confrontation so they can pass some legislation, as a false flag? Are they pushing for something like that to happen so they can push some legislation or do something? I don't know, but you hear stories that, like even the FBI or special ops had people there at the demonstration that snuck in with these Antifa people, have been sneaking around, staying close to them all the time. You're hearing stories about, they were bussed in, etc. Hopefully somebody can get to the bottom of it. Some police agency or something can say, hey, look, here's what happened for sure. But, see, one thing, supposedly they went in there with them, so to make sure they didn't get any important documents or anything like that. That was really special ops people who took, Pelosi stuff, what have you. I don't know. Really don't know. Maybe it was like a sting operation. Hey, let them in so we can bust all these real hard troublemakers that we know are Antifa, whatever. I don't know. So much stuff going on out there. But I do know if a bunch of violence happens on Inauguration Day, it's just going to make matters so much worse. And then there's going to be the argument, who did it? Was it Trump supporters, or was it Antifa acting as Trump supporters? Was it this? Was it that? All I know is it's going to make it worse. So don't bring guns and stuff if you're going to go protest your state capitals. Don't enter the buildings, what have you. Scream as loud as you want at them. But don't be a bunch of dummies like Antifa and BLM were this summer. Don't make asses out of yourselves. Especially when, you spend all summer pointing out how wrong it was what they were doing with their arson and their looting and everything and their violence. Don't be like them. So, everyone's trying, well, not everyone, the left is trying to blame Donald Trump for all this. And I heard his speech. He never encouraged anyone to do violence or anything like that. And if you think for 1 minute, I'm going to tell you what a lunatic you are. If you think for 1 minute Donald Trump would support, some yahoo showing up there with guns and Mazel Tov cocktails, you've lost your friggin' mind. If you think he would support them breaking into the building, you have lost your freaking mind. Just like if you buy into, he's a racist, you've lost your freaking mind. I grew up in Jersey. You know, I remember seeing Donald Trump on TV and you know, long before, you know, he ever got famous from doing, you know, bit parts in movies and then his TV show and everything like that. If you think for 1 minute he would condone people showing up with guns and Mazel Tov cocktails, you've lost your freaking mind. You have totally, whether you're on the left or the right, you have lost your friggin' mind. And you've lost your friggin' mind if you think he would support a racist organization. There is no way in hell he would support people showing up to do violence. Look here. I don't know how many of you know this or remember this, but there was a time a limousine broke down on one of the freeways there in New York. The limo driver, or it was a flat tire. The limo driver didn't know how to change the tire. Some guy on his way home from work, I don't know if he was white, black, Hispanic, whatever. It would be so great to find out he was black or Hispanic, because this would prove you all wrong right here. Pulled over, changed the tire. The story goes he never knew who was in the limousine. But Donald Trump was in the limousine and he had the limo driver get the guy's address before they took off. I don't know, a week later, however long it took, the guy gets the title for his home. Trump paid off his mortgage for changing a tire. Now, it would be something if that guy happened to be black or Hispanic. You know, it would just, I bet you that would blow all your friggin' minds. But I don't know how many of you know that. You know, he never made a big deal of it. But because the guy was kind enough to stop on his way home from work and change the tire on the limo, because the limo driver couldn't do it, Trump paid off his mortgage. So you want to tell me somebody who would pay off a mortgage for someone who changed a tire would condone bringing guns and Mazel Tov cocktails to a demonstration in Washington, D.C. or anywhere else? You want to tell me somebody who would do that would condone that type of shit? Or is a racist? Even if the guy who changed his tire is a white guy, does that sound something like a... You know, racists are pretty mean people. Does that sound like something they would do? Pay off somebody's mortgage? So I just wanted to point those things out there, that don't make it worse by doing a bunch of shit. You know, hey, I'm out here on the road. I know there's a bunch of good old boys pissed off, what have you, but I also know there's a lot of them nuts, whether they're in the woods or in the trailer park, wherever. Just like, you know, it don't matter. Whether you're black, white, or Mexican, we all got our nuts. You understand? We all got the ones on the fringes. Don't let them ruin a good thing, no matter whose side you're on. So, you know, people who don't believe that, you know, the government does false flags and you should trust the intelligence communities and stuff. Like I said before, I brought up one, it's called Gulf of Tonkin. They used that to get us more involved in Vietnam. A lot of people, whether you want to believe it or not, will point to 9/11 as a false flag. The WMDs for Iraq was a definite flat-out lie. And the lies saying, Saddam had something to do with 9/11. There's also one in 1967. If you look up the USS Liberty, was a intelligence gathering ship for, I don't know if it was for the Navy or for the CIA or what have you. But it was attacked by the Israeli Air Force. I think we lost 77 sailors were killed and a bunch of others wounded. The American flag was flying on the ship. They kept radioing, telling them they were an American vessel, etc., etc., etc. And apparently Johnson was in on it because the ship sent out, of course, a mayday, and a carrier group was not too far away, was going to send help. They naturally contacted Washington, D.C., informing them what was going on, and they were told to stand down. Oh, does that sound familiar, too, to something else? Libya? Benghazi? The murder of our ambassador and some other people there? They were told to stand down. They were going to go help. They were told to stand down. Well, this happened in 1967, too. They were told to stand down. And according to a naval person who got the answer from D.C., Lyndon Baines Johnson said, "I want that ship going to the bottom." Now, why would they do that to one of our own ships? Well, because they were going to blame Egypt to get the United States involved in a war in Egypt. So that's why I say, you look at everything going on. Trump calls it the swamp. And I believe he's right. Whether he was really making any headway on cleaning it up, or if it's so friggin' bad that it can't be cleaned up. There's so much disinformation and suppression of information. It's really would be hard to tell who the real players are and who are the people who are just bewitched by the whole thing anyway and going with, however they've been steered by all the lies and shit, just like everybody out here in the public. Not everybody in Congress can be, and I'm sure a lot of people in Congress are just going with the program because, that's the narrative that's been pushed, and that's, they're not thinking outside the box. They're not trying to take a look at the big picture. All it is, hey, we got to do this for the party, whatever else is going on behind the scenes by the real players. They're oblivious to it. They're being used as pawns just like everybody else. So, I'll leave this title on here and keep saying, I'm running for president 2024. I haven't got that many thumbs up or anything, so don't think it's going to be a big success anyhow. But just looking at everything going on, I'm wondering, you think that's it, we're done, it's over. No. They got to release a statement, they're doing this, they're going to do this, they're going to, now they can't let Trump run in 2024, so they got to try and impeach him, or they got to have him removed. What have you. And then I'm sure it's going to start up on the right, because Joe Biden's done a lot of dirty shit. I'm sure there might be impeachment things with him. Or they might use that 25th Amendment on him. Who knows? Who knows where this is all going? But just when you think, okay, hey, we get out of it. It's like with the freaking virus, right? They get the vaccine. Oh, guess what? There's a new strain. It's more contagious. We don't know if the vaccine's going to work on it. Really? But I do think there has been a purposeful attack on the middle class and small business in this country. It's been an attack on them and they've used this virus and other things to hurt the middle class and small business because they were who primarily supported Donald Trump. Now, like I say, whether the whole deal is to send us into civil war or something, or it's some plot by some foreign government to send us into civil war, or it's some plot to make us think some foreign government sent us into civil war so we can go to war somewhere else. You see what I'm saying? Once they start their lies and disinformation, you know, what a tangled web we weave when at first we deceive. You all know that saying. And what about Joe Pesci in that movie about JFK? Where he's like, it's an enigma wrapped in a mystery, wrapped in, you know, and he's just, you know? Or is it just that there's so many liars out there vying for, and corrupt people vying for power, that this blob of corrupt evil doings and more lies and jockeying for power and stuff is just gained a life of its own? That it's really nobody in control. This is just the result of a bunch of power hungry people out for their own You know, maybe they never thought of it. Creating a monster. So, like I said, who knows? Maybe it's all to make so much bad shit go on that they, you know, get us into a war or put martial law or some shit, cause a civil war here so they can gain more power, and we end up living like they're living in North Korea. Who knows? You know, like I said, the rich and you know, you see these people trying to leave California because all the taxes and shit in California. Say, well, we're going to put a tax on you. It's going to follow you for 10 years. You know, so it's like the people who can just pick up and leave, right? Oh, that thing about that tax on California, that reminds me of the song Hotel California. You can check out any time you like, but you may never leave. You can check out any time you like, but they got you. They're going to get your money anyway. Try to. But, you know, they can make slaves out of us all, ruin the whole fucking country, as long as they're still making their money. The rich and the powerful and the famous, you know, they'll go live in the south of France or somewhere, you know, wherever. They can go wherever. They'll still collect their, you know, dividends and their profits and their stocks and all that shit, and leave us all to choke on the dust. So, who knows what's going on? I've pretty much come to the conclusion I've given up, because just when you think it's over, whammo, here's something else. Here's something else. So, all I know is something's awful damn fishy. It's been fishy. It's been real fishy since Trump won the first election. They really came out of the woodwork on that. So, but it has primarily, all this crap has been primarily driven by the left and the Democrats, all the Obama supporters, You know, you want to call them sycophants, whatever you want to call them. So upset that, Donald Trump got, getting rid of Obamacare and doing all these other things and stuff, that undoing of Obama stuff. And Joe Biden says he's going to come in and undo everything Trump did. So get ready to pay more taxes, all that shit. Get ready to go back. He says everything. I'm assuming that means he's going to send troops back overseas, all that kind of shit. Who knows? All I know is you better be on your toes. Sleep with one eye open going, what are they up to? You better have some skepticism and some shoot, what's the word? It's getting late. You better, intuition? I don't know, maybe not intuition, maybe not. You just be on your toes. And whether it's coming from the left or the right, you better think about it, question it. Like I said, we were all young and stupid once, if you're my age and everything. And who knows, making dope legal back then might have sounded good to us too and everything like that, but it's not. People, well, look at alcohol. Alcohol is legal, and look at all the damage alcohol does. Well, gambling's legal. Look at all the trouble gambling does. What do you mean? Well, there's a lot of people who end up stealing to support their gambling habits, end up losing everything they have. Their families break up. Lots of people commit suicide because they get in too deep with gambling. Alcohol's the same thing, breaks up families, causes domestic violence, drunk driving accidents, you name it. So making alcohol legal did not do one bit of damn good. None. As far as the havoc it does on the people who drink it. Making it legal made the people who sell it look a lot more respectable. They get rich. People still will drink themselves to death. Will drink themselves into stupid. Will drink themselves into being violent. So making it legal doesn't mean you're going to solve problems. Does not mean you are going to solve problems or improve anybody's life. Making drugs legal will ruin people's lives. Anyway, wish you all the best out there. And I don't know if I think of anything else. Probably forgot. Like I said, it's been a long day. I'm tired. Probably forgot something I wanted to say, but I'm sure I'll remember it tomorrow or something. But anyway, wish you all the best out there. God bless.